Okay guys, this is a video you guys have been waiting for months, and I'm actually excited to do this. I'm actually going to be answering some questions that you left me in the comment section about my experience while I was on tour with Korean pop group BTS. Can you talk about some of your observations about the member behaviors when they were off camera, like during rehearsal? So when you're on tour, you're actually in a workplace environment, for real. And it's almost as if you kind of work in an office building and you work for one company, and in the hallway you notice that you see a familiar face that works at a different company. You don't actually know the person, but you see a familiar face. You're always seeing somebody in the hallway. That's the best I can describe the closeness between us on the camera team and the actual group. Not that we didn't actually see the band members up close, because we did. In various productions, where you eat is where you eat. Actually, the food was great. So shout out to everybody who made all that food, all the American food and Korean food anybody could ask for, and it was amazing. And that was actually how I got to see the band members up close. They were hungry. They wanted to eat. And you know, they had a lot of rehearsing to do. As far as the main technical rehearsals, yes, there were 1 or 2 rehearsals before every show, and that's how we would test our cameras and see where things were gonna be in the show. So as far as like what they were really like at work. They were really hungry, or they were really rehearsing their dance moves or the songs that they were gonna sing. I'm also expecting your thoughts of filming Yoongi. I would like to hear some insights about them from people. Okay. How was work? Okay, that sounded weird, but like, how was working with them? Well, like I said a second ago, we weren't truly working like with them. Like, we're working for them in all honesty. But I guess a fun factoid, the cameras we use have a red light that the band members can see from the stage, and that's kind of because they have a professional routine they do just like we do, and occasionally they have to kind of look towards the light in order to be looking into the camera during different parts, because it's part of their choreography. So yeah, not that I personally interacted with Suga, but at various times he could see the light above the camera, and it's dark, so it's not like he's even seeing me. But because I'm looking through a camera, it looks like he's looking directly into my face, which it's intense when you know you're trying to get a shot and it looks like he's like like you know what I mean? So authoritative. It was actually pretty cool, and actually these guys are so professional, especially Suga. Like, that guy is like super professional, like, especially in terms, you know, hitting all his marks, all his dance steps, you know, all the lyrics when he is performing. Like, he's actually very serious, very professional. I don't know if that's giving away too much information. I don't know. I'll get this looked over, but super professional, and it made me want to be just as professional for him and for the audience. Actually, I'm really interested to know how you feel about the members' performances in respect to seeing them perform live versus what you see in the videos. In the most positive way I can ever possibly say it, unlike some pop acts where you see differences in quality between the music video and what you see live, as if they're better in a music video a lot of times, I definitely feel like they rehearse so much. In some ways, what you see is what you get a bit, especially when it comes to dancing. Whatever you see them do in their videos that looks really awesome, they can do it in person. And it sometimes even comes out better in person because it's so spot on. And it's actually a lot of fun, because it's like imagining a music video happening in front of your eyes over and over and over, because you see the rehearsals too, you know, and the additional background dancers. So to see it happening in front of you, I would say it's halfway between watching a music video in front of you and seeing like maybe a Broadway show, because you're seeing such high technicality, such artistry like right in front of you, you know. It's actually humbling. You definitely don't want to miss a beat when you're in that moment, you know, because it looks so good. I wonder, how did you shoot solos? Did you have some rest during other member solos? or you continued shooting? How was it during songs with no choreo? Like when they just walk around the stage. Okay. So like I mentioned before, everything is pre-planned. Well, that might be too vague of a statement, but there is a script. There is an order to things that you do rehearse because it is a show. And basically, when there are solos, and it's not your guy that you're assigned to, you are assigned other things. You'll notice when you're at the concert, there are things that appear on the side monitors, basically, and there are people that shoot those things, actually. So you think there's just one camera on the guy, but there could be like 5, and you might not even notice 5 cameras are active. So sometimes all of us have other cues for that one person until your main guy comes back. So there's no downtime. You are still shooting, even in instances where, say, the director might only really need maybe like 4 cameras. You never know. And sometimes also the director might want to be creative and might want to just be like, okay, let me just try this really quick. It's all up to the director, actually, and his vision and the vision for the band. And there's a reason all their footage, you know, especially on Mnet and stuff, is like so cutting edge and so really good. It's because they practice a lot, and the director knows his camera team and knows when to follow the script and when to just be like, boom, let's try this. So you always have to be prepared, even if you're not on main camera, just in case. How many original staff from Korea did they have? And did the staff from Korea who you interacted with speak English? That's a really interesting question. And there were a lot of native Korean speaking people working on the tour. You know, these are the biggest guys in K-pop. So yes, their entourage was mostly Korean speaking, but there were tons of bilingual Korean staff around, ready to interpret, really. In the camera team, there were, I think, half the camera team spoke Korean, so it wasn't like you know. And also, it's a professional environment where you're talking about camera work. So even if someone's speaking to me in Korean, if they're pointing or drawing a diagram for me to study something or to look something up or give me direction, you don't have to know what they're saying word for word because you understand the technical stuff, you know. And also somewhere just go back and forth both languages. Like camera is pretty much there's no language you're gonna say camera in and I'm like, oh, what are you saying, you know. So there was, I would say, great communication back and forth between everybody. If there wasn't by now, you would have heard about it somehow in the press. Not from me, but somehow, because you guys are such spies, it would have leaked, you know. But yeah, it was actually, for being in a stressful environment, it was actually very harmonious, especially when it came to language. Let's see. Are you thinking this is the type of filming you would enjoy doing a lot? Did this experience change your perspective of K-pop artists at all? Did V stun you with his beauty? Oh my god. It was actually very exhilarating. It was really cool to be flown and stuff because it makes you take the whole process even more serious. And it just made you feel like whatever you are part of is that more special. Would I go on tour again? Why not? It was great. It's very thrilling, and it's a thrill that you don't necessarily get from filming things like traditional films and music videos, because you get more than one take, actually. In terms of like, did it change my opinion of K-pop? Sure. In a positive way. I mean, seeing what you see in a music video right in front of you is definitely an intense experience, you know? Especially, it forces you to put the fan part of your brain on a shelf and kind of like respond to making sure that you can film it right. You know, after the fact, you get to go, oh man, just today, I just went to 3 BTS concerts today. Like, that sinks in when you go to sleep at night. You go, man, I got to see BTS perform more times than probably many of their fans could afford. So that was such a privilege, you know, to see it all up close. So, you know, so personally, I loved it. But while I was in the situation, I couldn't fully reflect on what was happening because I had so much to do. As far as Did V stun me? I wasn't really assigned to V. I saw V a few times. Not that I didn't have to tape him when he performed. V was one of the members in the group I definitely saw up close. And like, kind of like this close. And he looks exactly like he does. Like that's one thing I found very interesting. Everybody looks exactly like they do in the video. No one transforms so dramatically or drastically from camera to being in person. So yeah, there that go. Did you guys ever get introduced to them? No, we didn't get introduced. Okay, I'll answer that question. No, we didn't get introduced to them. We were really at work. You know what I'm saying? And there were a lot of staff there, so we're no different from anybody else that was working back then, and they were busy. So no, but it was still so much. It wasn't like it was a negative experience because I didn't get to meet them or anything like that, though. Let's see. Also, can I predict which city may be included on the DVD? Do I believe it's Chicago? Did I enjoy the concerts? Yes, I enjoyed the concerts. And as far as the DVD, I really don't know. I think this is actually an area you guys would know more than me. Because I'm staff, there are things that are actually kept from us professionally, you know, because they, for whatever reason. And whatever reason they have, it are the reasons. So no, I don't know everything, despite the fact that I was so close to the process. You would actually know more than me. So yeah, if you know when this DVD is being released, please let me know. That would be pretty cool. What were your thoughts on the Rainbow Ocean that was created? Well, I thought it was pretty cool. It kind of went over my head the first show, actually. The first show or two, I didn't really understand what it was until I saw fan photos of it while I was traveling. And it didn't really hit me that all that was going on because I was looking through a camera the first two concerts. So the third show in Chicago, it was like, oh, that's how they made that moment happen. And I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about how they made that happen, but I do know how they made it happen, and it was pretty cool. I like how it was. I would say it was very clever because it wasn't like, yeah, if you attended the concert, you know how it worked. And yeah, if you guys want to spoil that in the comment section, you can knock yourself out. I'm not gonna say it. So there, those are questions that I've wanted to answer for months. Hopefully I get this approved. If you're watching this video, that meant that I got approval, and that's nice. So why don't you tell me what you thought of all this in the comment section below. Why don't you also like it, because if you're watching this far in the video, I think you like it. And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Bubble Contagion. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. Thanks, guys.